Jai Hind everyone, welcome back to the Patriotic IAS. Let's start our IAS PCSwala daily current affairs. Today we have four major topics that we will discuss in a very detailed manner. The first topic is a half-hearted climate change verdict. This is into the case of the recent verdict. Under that, Supreme Court declared that the right against the impact of the climate change, and it was on the ground of the violation of Article 21 as well as Article 14. So we will analyze in a detailed manner that why this is half-hearted, why this is not full-hearted, because here it is talking about the balancing act was not that much accurate. You are going to the bias toward this renewable energy where there is the also impact on the environment and the climate. So here the writer will try to bring the further suggestion that what should have been done. So it will be for the GS paper 3. We know that GS paper 3 and environment section. So here it is the syllabus GS paper 3. Here this is the GS paper 3, and in GS paper 3 we have the conservation, environmental pollution and degradation, and environmental impact assessment. All this topic, all this area has been covered in the this news analysis. Okay, so this will be for the mains specific. Then we will see that the getting to a new level in the India's online gaming sector. So here the future prospect of the gaming sector will be discussed, and that's why it will be part of the economy. It has been mentioned that the growth rate is the very high, and it is the compounded growth rate that we have been witnessing into the online gaming. So this will be again for the mains perspective. After that we will study what is the carbon farming. This is very interesting topic, and this is very much relevant for the GS paper 3 environment section again. It's talking about the how the carbon farming, a type of the farming where we care about the more productivity of your produce, as well as it's talking about that the health of the soil should be improved, and the climate change mitigation action also will be taken by the absorbing the more greenhouse gases. So such type of the action, all this will be part of the carbon farming. Like there is the concept of the carbon trading. We have also concept of the carbon farming, and what are the opportunity into the India, that all we will discuss. Again, it will be for the mains perspective. Detail analysis will be done. GS paper 3rd, environment section again. Then we will study the understanding the science behind the magnetic resonance imaging. Again, GS paper 3 science and technology section. MRI, generally we see that MRI and the CT scan. Here we will see that what is the difference between the MRI and the CT scan. This is very important for the prelims. The basic concept you should know. So this is all about from the today's, this will be the news that we will cover from the today's newspaper. Let's start from the front page. The front page, this is very positive news. This is very good news that the fight between Hamas and Israel, Hamas has accepted the ceasefire. So it is the one way, not the Israel has it. Israel is still not disclosed that what is its stand. Israel is yet to comment on the deal and the details of the proposal. But yes, the Israel Hamas has accepted the ceasefire proposal that was brokered by the Egypt and the Qatar. So this talk was going on for the last many days, and now after 7 months there is the some of the hope of the race that there could be the ceasefire. Okay, so here till now there has been the death of the more than 34,000 people, and mostly we have seen that it is the children and the women that are the part. Recently we have seen that the Israel has evacuated 1 lakh of the Palestinians from the Rafah city. Rafah, it is the bordering the Israel and Egypt. Here already the US backed proposal was there for the ceasefire, and now Hamas is ready to release all the hostages in a staged manner. So this is all about from this news. Further we will see that what development is going on. The third phase of the election today, 93 seats of the 93 Lok Sabha seats will be polled today. So we will see that what is the all about. Then we will see that the next news, the SC6, the report as T1 and ED spar over the sand mining case. We saw that the ED has summoned many of the district collectors from the Tamil Nadu into the corruption cases into the land mining, and here we will see that what has been the update that this district collector, they have complained that the ED has force them to stay in their office from 11 a.m. to the 8:30 p.m. And ED has complained back that these district collector, they have not provided the proper information and the detail, no document, no details. So this is the dispute, this is the conflict that is going on between the central and state government and the official of the central and the state. So this is all about from the front page. The other news such as that the Hemant 6 urgent hearing on the petition, this is not that much important. And a sketch of the Pooch attack was released. So further we will see that what the development is going on this issue. Next important news that we are going to take is from the editorial, and this is talking about the half-hearted climate change verdict. So this is talking about the Supreme Court verdict recently we have seen under the MK Ranjit Sinha versus Union of India case. So here the Supreme Court has brought two of the article of the Indian Constitution. First was Article 21, that's talking about the right to life, and the second the right to equality. So here you will see that there has been the main basis of this judgment of the right to life and the right to equality. So here the right to life, because due to the climate change, the life of the people is not as per the human life. It is the degraded life, and that's why the Supreme Court said that each person has the right to live a good life. For example, if you are suffering so much from the heat stroke, so this is not a good life, you are not living a human life, and that's why this is against the right to life. Again, right to equality, why? Because there is the unequal impact of the climate change on the poor people and those who are the rich. The poor people, they don't have the such equipment such as the ACs, cooler, they have to live into the heat and a very high temperature, and they suffer a lot of the disease and the suffering. So there has been in a disproportionate impact of this climate change on the marginalized section of the society. So here it is given. Okay. Further it is talking about the flawed in the judgment. What is the flawed? Because it is talking about that it want to balance the protection of environment and our commitment to produce the renewable energy and our commitment to achieve the climate change commitments, such as to at least we have to achieve the 500 of the gigawatt of the non-fossil fuel sources and the 50% share of these from the renewable energy by the 2030. This is under the Paris Agreement as well as the Sustainable Development Goals. Besides that, we have our own commitment. India have the commitment to achieve all these things. Okay. We also want to achieve the net zero emission, carbon emission by the 2070. So here net zero emission means the amount of the carbon dioxide, whatever we emit, the same amount of the carbon dioxide we have to absorb. How we can absorb the same amount of the carbon dioxide? By the further increasing the area of the forest by the afforestation and decreasing the deforestation. So these are the things that we have to achieve. But however, we are talking about, we are compromising with our species such as the great Indian bustard. You should know that the great Indian bustard, they are the critically endangered, they are about to extinct, and only their numbers has into the 100 of something, 100 something, okay. And their habitat is into the Rajasthan and the Gujarat area, mainly main habitat. Even they can found into the Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh, but the main habitat is the Gujarat and Gujarat and Rajasthan. So here the writer is talking about that. Now the Supreme Court has not interrogated several of the problems. For example, it has allowed for the solar energy and the wind energy, as it has considered that this is the renewable energy and there is no environmental impact. However, the writer is of the view that even the non-fossil fuel and renewable energy, for example, the large hydro power project and the nuclear plant, they have the environmental impact. For example, if you will take the large hydro power plant into the Himachal Pradesh and into the Uttarakhand, there has been so many earthquakes due to this type of the large dam. As well as this nuclear power plant, there is so many risks. For example, there could be the radiation that can impact the human, and there is also the safety and security concern, and the government, none of the government had disclosed the adverse impact of this nuclear power plant. So there is the flawed. Besides that, we have seen that the mega solar and the wind power project, they are also have the negative impact. Here many examples have given. For example, in the Ladakh recently we saw that the 13 gigawatt of the solar project that was about to be developed, but it is going to impact 20,000 acres of the fragile ecosystem. This ecosystem is very much important for the wildlife as well as the nomadic pastoralism. So it is impacting not only the environment but culture as well. This power plant, despite there being the solar power plant or the wind power plant, they need lot of the land. For example, here 2,000 acres, 20,000 acres of the land, and it is going to impact the wildlife species and the tribal people who are living in this area. For example, one more example I have given here. The Kutch region of the Gujarat, there has been the acquisition of the 1,400 acres of the land into the Chari Dham Conservation Reserve. Here you will see that the one of the tribal people, that is the Maldhari pastoralist, they will be got impacted. So here you will see that the most drastic, the most lacuna in this project is that the renewable energy projects are excluded from the environmental impact assessment. And these environmental impact assessment, if this project has not been included, so these negative impact will be not considered. So you should know that what is the environmental impact assessment. This is the, if you will read the environmental impact assessment, here you are assessing, what you are assessing? The impact on environment, and for what? The development project. So these environment impact assessment, they provide different perspective of the development project. For example, there could be the road construction. So this EIA, they will decide that what are the negative impact, how much cultural impact, and how much impact it is going to be on the different perspective, different living organism into that area. For example, here it will consider the human impact on the health of the human being as well as the living organism. So these impact assessment are categorized in the two categories, category A and category B. Category A has the compulsory go through this impact assessment. Category B have the two category B1 and B2. So here you will see that the B1 and B2. B1 will have some of the small project where the environmental pollution is less. But here it is necessary to do the environmental impact assessment. However, the B category, there could be the, they can skip the environmental impact assessment. So these are the stages: screening that decide the category, scoping that will decide the, that will be decided on the different terms of the references, and this will be prepared by a third party consultation. And after that, there will be the public hearing. The public hearing will decide that whether this project and the report is truly, and it how much area that is impacting. The balance has to be made that the development should be there. At the same time, we have to balance with the environmental protection. And in the last, the appraisal is done, and the last, after the all this assessment, we give the approval of the this project. So this is all about from this environmental impact assessment. There has been the different law that has been changed into the 1994. The first law came. After that, the law was amended into the 2006, and recently we have amended this law into the 2020. Here you will see that the period has been changes. We started with the 30 day, then we will go for the completion for the 45 days, and after that we reduce it to the 40 days. So we have to do all this consultation into the 40 day as per the recent law. The monitoring period now is the 1 year. It will be based on the yearly annual basis. And who is the main central agency? It is the central government and the state government. Both can provide, both can assess and provide for all this thing. Who will do? This all advertisement and this all assessment will be done on the district level. So here it is given that what are the challenges with this environmental impact assessment and what is the solution of this. Okay, the main challenge is the report is very technical. The common man cannot understand that what is meant by this. They will bring so much jargon in their report that there will be the committee, if there will be the meeting of the Gram Sabha, the people are normal lay person. They don't know technical thing, and mostly those companies who prepare this report, they are the very technical. Besides that, we will see that the project developer, they are paid by those who are the developing the companies, those who are developing those projects, they will pay for the who prepared this report. So they always collude. If I am paying to you for something to do, you will be always into the favor of me, not the other person against that this project has been developed. So this is the other thing. Here the solution could be the government can pay for that to make the balance, make neutrality. The process is very lengthy. It takes 6 to 8 months to complete entire work. And by this process, in this process, there is so much destruction already has been done that is irreversible. That is the other issue. So these are the major issues you should know. Here you will see that the writer is talking about some of the country's most biological diverse and socially sensitive area has been impacted. Okay, so new coal mining, you will see that the coal energy, into the energy production, the coal energy is still 50% of the total total electricity production. If there is the 100 unit of the production of the electricity, out of this 50% it is still from the coal, and the coal is so much environmentally pollutant that that has the very large negative impact. So the writer is telling that despite we are emphasizing on the renewable energy, the role of the coal energy is not decreasing. What are the alternative? The alternative that is proposed by the writer, he is talking about instead of the large mega solar and the wind power project, what we can do it into the small scale. Each houses have their own solar project, and by that we do not need the extra land. For example, each houses, if their own solar rooftop, why they need for the other energy source? So first example is that. Beside that, we can also develop the small wind energy power project as well. Okay, we have to also assess the nature, right to nature. Here you have to brought the right to nature, because this is very important. Whenever you bring the right to nature, you consider all aspect of the life. If you are just bringing the right of the people due to the negative impact of the climate change, you do not include the other perspective. For example, what it is impacting on the lion in the area or the tigers in the area, you will exclude. But if you will bring the right to nature, for example, recently the Uttarakhand High Court has brought the Ganga and Yamuna as the legal person. Means they will be treated as the person, and whatever a person is getting the right to life and other rights, they will be treated as the human being. However, we have seen that the Supreme Court stayed this judgment order. Okay, so here this is, as per the writer, this is very good judgment. The judgment from the Uttarakhand was very well. However, the Supreme Court is talking about the implementation is not possible. How could you consider the Ganga and Yamuna as a legal person? Because if you will start treating them legal person, there is so many discharge of the a lot of discharges from whatever the sewage goes from our houses, that is discharged into the Yamuna and the Ganga. So practically this is not possible, and that's why now it has been stayed. Besides that, we have also seen that many of the big dam and the mega project that has the negative impact has been prohibited from the court judgment. Okay. So here the main topic that the writer want to brought is the alternative and the less damaging way that can be replaced this mega project that should be promoted. Besides that, the writer is talking about the problem with the Indian model. Now Indian model is the focusing on the development. One of the example here given is the example from the Nicobar. Indian government recently has brought 130 square kilometer of the land for the development project, where the most tribal people, the one of the ancient tribal people in the Nicobar, they are living on this land. So writer is talking about that this will not only harm the 130 kilometer of the forest area, but also they are going to destroy the culture, unique culture of this tribal people. So if your development project is like that, you are going to destroy the forest and you are going to develop that area for the human settlement, that is not only impacting the environment in a negative manner, but the culture of the people, because their culture you cannot bring back. They are still living to the ancient life, the very much that is close to the nature. They respect the nature, they try to promote the nature, their all dependency in the is on the nature. So this is all about that the writer want to talk into the this news analysis. Here this is very important question, so we will write a means answer on that. So please write the answer on this question. Please note down the question and the answer approach, and the answer will be discussed into the tomorrow lecture. We will start tomorrow lecture with the discussion on this means answer approach, and also we will discuss the 5 furious question and its analysis. From tomorrow onwards, we are going to provide you 5 prelims question that we will discuss next day, and again the mains question. So please note down. Describe the stages involved into the environment impact assessment process for the developmental project. How does each stage contribute to the ensuring environmental protection and the public participation? 250 words, 15 marks. All you can write all effective answer whatever we have gone through. Already we have studied the environmental impact assessment, different stages, and also we have discussed that how it ensures the sustainable development. Okay. Next news that we are going to cover is the getting to a new level into the India's online gaming sector. So here it is talking about the gaming sector, and this gaming sector that will be part of GS paper 3 and economy. The different sector under the economy that comes under GS paper 3. So here it is talking about the what is the importance of the gaming sector into the future. This article talk about the different steps taken by the government. This article also talk about the what are the future prospects. The growth rate of this industry is very high, and we are targeting to achieve 1 trillion in this economy. The expansion here it is showing that the 28%, and this is the compound growth, not the simple growth. It is the compound growth. Means if you are earning 100 rupees and the interest, the growth is 28%, next year it will be the growth on 128 rupees. Generally what we do, we take the initial principal amount with the growth rate, but whenever the compounded growth is that, the interest rate growth will be on the interest itself. So this is the very high level of the growth rate. So that is the writer wants to bring this on the focus point. Here there is the distinguish between the skill of gaming and the gambling. There could be the gambling, for example, if the gambling is there without the skill, that is not legal. But wherever there is the skill is needed for the gambling, into the gaming, that is the legal. Okay, so here you should understand that the difference between the normal gambling and the skill gaming, that is for the, you can use the betting. Here you should know that this comes under the Digital India initiative. Already Indian government is focusing on the Digital India. It is promoting the Digital India, use of the digitization. For example, most of the thing that government do is on the online form. This is the one of the example of the Digital India. The gaming, online gaming is also one part of the Digital India initiative. There is a lot of potential in India. For example, the mythology-based game can be initiated. What is the mythology-based game? For example, into the game, generally we see the Western type of the people, those who are the draped into the steel and the iron-clad clothes. But think about if the main hero of that game will be like the Arjun, Bhim, or it could be the Ram, Hanuman. So it will be the mythological based of the gaming. We also need to promote the women's participation, because the women's participation is very low. Whenever you go on to the shop where the gaming is offered, you will say that you will see that mostly the male candidate, the boys are there, the girls are absent. So we need to bring the women participation. We also need to foster the innovation, new type of the thing. For example, one of the example of the fostering innovation could be the mythology based of the gaming. Besides that, we will also see that we need to reduce such type of the perception is that this gaming industry do not create the job. There is no career, but yes, career is there. You can be a developer, the program developer who can develop the gaming. Programming of the game is also career. You can earn a lot of money. There are a lot of the programmers into the gaming industry. They are earning a lot of money. So there could be the career as well. The career to earn and live the livelihood. You can earn the livelihood. Here, the writer is bringing the growth prospect. We are expecting that by 2028, the gaming industry will have the 33,243 crore of the industry. So the growth rate is the 15%, and here you will see that the compound annual growth between 2022 to 2023, it was the 28%. So this is the potential of this industry. Even the government can earn a lot of revenue. Here it is given that the government earned from this industry, the revenue was the $300 billion. Can you imagine the $300 billion? You can multiply with the 1,000 and then it will come to the million, and if you will reduce by the 10, it will be the 30,000 of the crore dollar. Okay. And it is going to contribute despite the Indian growth rate is very high. However, we have seen that the overall percentage into the global gaming industry, India's share is very low. It is just 1.1%. So we have lot of chance. If you have not grown now, you have lot of chance to grow into the future. For example, if a person has not studied, he is illiterate. If he get the chance, he has the more opportunity to grow and become the literate. Okay, so here India has not grown, so India has a lot of chances to grow, and that's why it can provide lots of the economic opportunity as well as the employment opportunity to its people. Besides that, here it is given that it's present a multi-dollar opportunity for the startups. As India wants to aim that reach 1 trillion digital economy by the 2030. So this is the main aim. Exact date has not been announced, but we want to achieve this 1 trillion digital economy. What the government is doing for that? One of the most important thing is that the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, it has been started with the task force. So one of the task force has been established by the Ministry of the Information and the Broadcasting. Beside that, the MITI, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, has been declared as the nodal agency. Nodal agency means those nodal agency, they are the prominent for the implementing of the different scheme, and that's why it will have the more power. Nodal ministry means it will have the more prominence. Whenever there will be the meeting of the Prime Minister will give the importance of this ministry as well. Okay. We have also brought amendment into our intermediate guideline and the digital media rule, ethics code rule 2022, and we have brought the clarification on the tax deduction at the source of winning. Means whenever you win something, whenever you go and bet into this gaming industry, you win. So there will be the clear-cut definition, clearation from the government that how much tax will be deducted. So it will bring the clarity to whoever is going to involve in this betting and online gaming, and that's why it is providing a very good chance for the new startups. Okay, because the startups will have the clarity of the deduction, tax deduction. Besides that, issues that need to be scrutinized. There are a lot of issues. For example, the self-regulatory nature of this IT rule, this is not that much impactful. We need to bring the some of the changes so that we can brought more robustness in this industry. Beside that, we have seen that the GST has been increased. Previously it was the 18%, now it has been the 28%. So it disincentivizes the people. Whenever I am going to pay for the 28 rupees for my 100 rupees of the earning, why I will involve in this type of the any of such betting? I will go for the some other type of the opportunity. Maybe I can invest same money. If I am going to invest 1000 rupees and I am going to earn 100 rupees, out of this 100 rupees government is taking 28 rupees. If I will have the same opportunity in the investing into the other industry, I will go and invest my 1000 rupees into the other industry. That's why this tax of 28% is disincentivizing. It was 18% till now, but it has increased. This is the one cause of the concern. Here we need to reduce this tax rate, and beside that, what we need to focus on, we need to focus that we have to bring the global gaming hub into the India by the providing the such environment. Beside that, we can inspire our Indian mythology to be included into these games, the heroes of these games, and we can also create the enabling environment by the skill gaming and the capitalizing on the cultural narrative of the India. So these are all the things that we need to do, because we have the soft power, and in the soft power, this mythology, this culture, all that comes under this. This is all about from this news article. Next important news that we are going to take is from the editorial again, time to talk. Here we are going to discuss the tussle that is going on between the Tamil Nadu and the Kerala. We have seen that the main conflicting point is the dam. The name of the dam is the Mulla Periyar Dam. This has been the point of conflict for the many of the decades. The history goes from the 129 years back, even when the Britishers were the mainly controlling the India. British rule was there, and that time the princely state and the Madras presidency, they have the agreement for the leasing out this area to the Tamil Nadu. Now the Kerala asks for it is in our territory, why the Tamil Nadu is controlling everything, management to the everything. It should be done by us, and there is the different ground that Kerala raised on this Mulla Periyar Dam. The one of the ground is that the safety measure, that the dam is not strong and it is breaching the level, the height level that Supreme Court finally brought the 142 feet. It was 136 feet previously. The writer is trying to say that here, despite there has been so many panel we have constituted to resolve the issue, 3 panel has been constituted. For example, supervisory committee, this was done. This was constituted from the technical member from the both of the state, and it was constituted into the 2002. Despite the solution has not been there, even the National Executive Committee of the National Disaster Management Authority, they also constituted a subcommittee. The solution is not there. Even we have seen that all these 3 committees, none of them are close to any of the resolution or the solution. We have seen that the Dam Safety Act that was brought in 2021, here this also failed, and this failed, miserably failed. The writer is here mentioned. So what we need to do, mostly we try to adopt the rule curve, adoption of the rule curve. This is mainly for the smooth operation of the dam shutter, and particularly it is during the flood and the gate operation schedule. Okay, so here you will see that what is this rule curve. This is mostly done to smooth operation, and mostly it is associated with the dam shutter. Dam shutter means whenever there is the level of the water that goes beyond a particular level, or the goes beyond particular height, we generally open the shutter for the flow of the water, and many times this opening of the shutter result into the flood into the area. So there has been the accusation from the Kerala that the flood is causing the many of the grievances of the Kerala. Okay, so here this is the one thing. The other thing that court is hearing is it is on the a mega car parking project into the Kerala. Here the main accusation is that the Tamil Nadu is accusing that this is out of the lease time. Here it is talking about the outside the leased area, and it is distributed by the Tamil Nadu. Okay, so now the writer is talking that the both of the state are now very close. They appreciate each other because they are against the central government. We have seen that the Tamil Nadu and Kerala both are involved with the conflicting situation with the central government, and now the both government cooperate with each other. Now this is the time that they can solve this both issue, because before that we have seen that the both of the state government, they are not supporting to the each other. Here the supportive nature of the state government can help into the resolving this issue between the two states. That is the mainly the writer want to say. Okay, here you will see that the Tamil Nadu has a more favorable track record. We have seen that the judgment, the way that comes, it was always favoring the Tamil Nadu, either it is 2006 judgment or the 2014 judgment. However, the political solution is very important, and political misuse of the political emotions should not be used, because this is very sensitive issue and that can result into the riots. So here the both state government should work in a very sensitive and sincere manner. Next news that we are going to take is the Twin Tower. Here it is the Chinese badminton win, and they have win into the Thomas Cup and the Uber Cup in the both men's and the women competition. Now the Chinese have won this into the both men and the women form after the 2012. Here India was the defending champion, because the last time it was the India who won the Thomas and the Uber Cup. Now it is the China. So here it is just before the Paris Olympic, that shows that what is your preparedness level. So if we can analyze the India's case, the performance of the Satvik Sairaj, Ranki Reddy and the Chirag Shetty, they already have won the Asian game. Now the other player HS Pranoy and the Lakshya Sen, they have performed well. For example, they already have won the Tokyo Olympic bronze medal, and also in 2024 all England Open finalist. So there has been the better performance despite they have lost this game, and it was into the 8th round. So the India's got out of this Thomas and the Uber Cup into the 8th round. Okay, so this is all about from the editorial. Next news that we are going to take from the text and the context, and here we will discuss that what is the carbon farming. So what is the carbon farming? Any idea? Any idea about carbon farming? No. This is a way of doing your agriculture, the cultivation in such a manner that you also restore the soil's health. For example, whenever we do the continuous farming, there is so many nutrients into the soil that deplete. For example, there is the nitrogen. For example, if you are eating a same type of the food for the long time, your body needs lot of other nutrients. For example, if you are continuously cultivating the rice in a soil, and the rice takes something from the soil continuously, so soil has the lack in that nutrients. Are you getting now? Means after the productivity will decrease, the soil productivity will decrease when next crop, when you will be cultivating for the rice, there will be the less amount of the that nutrient. For example, take the simple example. Whenever you go and extract the juice from the any of the pulp, take the example of the sugar. After one time, whenever you extract the juice, whenever you go for the second time, there is the lack of the juice. Gradually, there will be the no juice into the sugar cane. The same happens with the soil. So the farming should be in a such a manner that is the restoring the health and restoring the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. There are the many of the plant who can absorb the carbon dioxide and other global greenhouse warming gases. Is it clear? I hope this is clear. So here it has defined that this carbon farming, this combines farming practice, means you do the farming practice that is regenerative, that uses the regenerative agriculture technology, and it restore the ecosystem health. Here, the restore the ecosystem health. For example, if you will cultivate the maize after the rice, so some of the thing from the maize will go into the soil that was lacking into the previous cultivation. So they interlink each other and they try to supplement each other, and that's why it improves the agriculture as well. When again you will cultivate the rice third year, after the maize and the wheat, there should be the gap between the different type of the crop so that the soil can regain its health. So that is the main thing. Okay, there is a lot of way to do that. Okay, so mainly it focus on the enhancing the carbon storage. Okay, carbon storage into the agricultural landscape and reducing the greenhouse gases and emission to mitigate the climate change. Okay. So soil degradation will reduce, water scarcity will be not there, and the challenge related to the climate variability also reduce, because of you are caring about the different type of the emission that is coming out of the crop as well as the soil. So soil health will improve, so your productivity of your crop will increase. Means rice that has been produced for the 80 quintal, if the soil health is better, you can produce the 100 quintal of the rice. So soil health will improve, so your productivity will improve, and same time the environmental degradation will reduce. Okay, so here the rotational grazing. What is the rotational grazing? Means if there is the, just let me explain that what is the rotational grazing. If you have if you have this amount of the land and this is the 100 acres, rotational grazing means for 1 year you try to use this land for the grazing. After this, you leave this area, you come in this area. So here, and for the third year, you are doing the grazing work into this area. So if you will reach to the third year here, by that time there will be again the growth of the grass and the other plant. So in the natural way, the land will be healthy. This is the rotational grazing. You are not doing the grazing once in a time for the all land. You do for the some parcel of the land, and after that you leave that, you go here and you go here, and after 4 years again you come here. So there will be the again growth of the plant and the grass. Again there will be the grass, again there will be the grass. Tribal people generally do this type of the grazing, the rotational grazing. Okay. So it is talking about the rotational grazing that restore the carbon. This is a type of the carbon farming. Agroforestry means in a agricultural land, you do the cultivation, agro and forestry, you also do the forestry. Agriculture means you do the cultivate the rice or the wheat or the maize, anything. And at the same time forestry, you also plant the trees of the mango, maybe there could be a lot of trees. So this is known as the agroforestry. Same time the cultivation as well as the forestry. You also do the conservation agriculture. The conservation agriculture that include lot of way technique to improve the soil health. For the one of the example is the mulching. What is the mulching? You also cover the root of the all the trees, so that whenever there is the hailstorm or anything, those that already you have covered with the leaves and other things, so your plant will be protected. So this is the mulching. Maybe it is done into the winter season when the temperature is very low. If you will cover all the plants by the leaf and other things, so it will be protected from the a lowering of the temperature. If there will be the high temperature, same time you can use the other method. For example, you can use the different type of the irrigation practice that is the efficient. For example, the micro irrigation. Micro irrigation means you use the what happen into the micro irrigation. If there is the plants in the normal irrigation, you flood this all the land. This is the way you do. Normal type of irrigation is done by that, but in the micro irrigation, what we do, you will bring the pipe to the here and the drop will be only fall here. So only this amount of the water will be used. The pipe will come here and the drop will be just here. So you save that amount of the water that was not needed. Same time, you also reduce the weed. Generally, the grasses and unwanted plant grow in this area because of the flooding of the water. So if there is no water, this will be not grown. So your productivity of this all can increase. So this is one type. Other type of the conservation agriculture, integrated nutrient management, ecology, livestock management, all that comes in under the this type of the management. Means you do this type of the livestock management. What is this? Means at the same time you use different type of the livestock that are the dependent on the each other. For example, you use some time of the animal that can face the extreme condition of the heat. Same time you also try to rear those animals who can face the extreme winter conditions. So here you do the livestock management. Means you are managing on the same field different type of the livestock. Livestock means the different type of the animals. They can support each other. For example, some of the animals may be eating the grass, some of the animals may be eating the maize, some of the animals may be eating the some other type of the grass. So if there will be the different type of the livestock, they will not encroach each other area. They can survive. So this is known as the livestock management. Land restoration, already we talk about the different type of the nutrients that is the lacking into the soil. You use the different type of the crop and the other type of, for example, maize, rice and wheat. There could be a different type of the nutrients they must be needing. If you will use all these three into the same land, there will be the restoration of the, for example, nitrogen, phosphorus, manganese, all are the nutrients that is needed for the land as well as the crop. So different type of the cropping pattern if you will use, they will help into the restoring all this thing. Is it clear? Same silvo pasture and the LI cropping. This is the same type of the thing. Means, for example, here in the silvo pasture, you try to grow the plant, then forage. Forage means whatever the eating food for the animals. That is known as the what I forget the name. Forage, something like that. Okay. LA cropping, again, it is the alternative plantation manner. LA means you make the relay of the line. One line, other line and the third line. So it is a type of the cropping. Okay. So all these are the example. Here the net zero tillage. What is the net zero tillage? Without going to, without plowing. Generally we plow before the cultivation. We do not plow. We just, whatever the land is there, just we use that crop that do not need the plowing. That is known as the zero tillage. Many of the crop that is, if you will just spread the seed, there is no need for the plowing. So you can use that. Okay. Cover cropping, crop rotation, all we have seen. Cover cropping means you cover the crop. For example, you have seen into the village that generally whenever there is the potato or the tomato, whenever there is the decrease into the temperature, we cover by the different type of the material. Okay, generally we use the stock of the wheats and the rice. Okay. So crop residue management, what is the crop residue management? After the cropping, there are a lot of the residue, means there is the plant, and in the plant only few product that we use. For example, into the rice plant, there is the stock as well. Are you getting now? I want to say that if there is the plant of the rice, and there is the, this is only needed to us. What about the this area? So generally we burn. Also, due to the burning, there is the emission of the carbon dioxide that is not good for the environment. So here we need to residue management. What is the residue? This remaining part of the plant is known as the residue. So we have to manage. What we can do? We can try to plow them under the soil so that they become the fertilizer for 1 year or the 2 years, or the after some times if you will leave that area, so that can be used into the sustainable manner. So this is all about, that is talking about again the integrated nutrient management, livestock management, all that has been the discussion here. What are the challenge that carbon farming that is facing? The main challenge is that this depend upon the various factors such as the geographical factor, soil type, crop selection, and the water availability. Also on the biodiversity and the farm size. If you have to do the rotation of the grazing, this cannot be done into the small parcel. If a farmer, that is the poor farmers, he has just a 1 hectare of the land, how he can use the 1 hectare of the land? The rotation can be done only if they have the 20 hectare of the land, sufficient land, so that the rotation can be. So we have the issue of the farm size. In India, most of the farmers, their farm size is the near about 1 hectare. So that is not possible. Biodiversity is not possible because we have seen that the very few of the species of the animal that exist into the particular geographical location. And the geographical location for the mountainous area, this type of the farming is not possible. It is possible only into the plain area. Okay. Beside that, what is other thing that is the cause of the hindrance? The selection of the plant species. Not all species trap or they store carbon. There is the capacity of the different plant to absorb the different type of the carbon capacity. For example, we all cannot eat on the same quantity of the food. The same is happening with the different type of the plant species. They are not equally, they do not have the equal capacity for the carbon storage. So different in the different area, some of the plant have the less capable plant to grow, and in the other area there is the more capable. So that's why there is the differences, and that's why the plant selection is the one of the most important thing. What are the some carbon farming scheme worldwide? We have seen different example have been given. For example, the Chicago Climate Exchange and the carbon farming initiative into the Australia. So one of the example in the Kenya, what they are doing the agriculture carbon project. Also, we have seen that the 4 per 1000 initiative that has been launched under the Paris Climate Initiative. And in India, what are we doing? In India, the first thing we are doing that we are providing 5 to 6,000 per acre for the climate service. This is the suggestion. This has not been implemented. Besides that, we have also seen that the regions such as the Indo-Gangetic Plain and the Deccan Plateau, they are well suited for the carbon farming. But the Himalayan area, they are not suited for the carbon farming, and as well as this coastal area, they are not suited. For the India, these are the challenge. This is the challenge. This is the initiative that has given that we can promote. Agriculture soil have the capacity to absorb 3 to 8 billion of the CO2 equivalent annually, and into 20 to 30 years, the contribution to the climate change that could be the, here it is telling that what is the capacity to absorb 3 to 8 billion, and the way the carbon dioxide is exceeding into the environment. How much time it will take? It will take 20 to 30 years to stabilize the climate stabilization. Are you getting now what is the stabilization? Means the amount of carbon going to the environment, and that has been absorbed by the forest and the different plant. If we will do all this thing, what is needed? what is needed in India? The most of the people don't know about this thing. The people don't know. So what we need to bring the awareness, more and more awareness. Beside that, policy support. Government should come up with the such policy like that they can provide the seeds or the some of the subsidies on this type of the plant. That is also they can inform and educate the farmers. Beside that, technological barriers. The farmers do not have that much capability to buy those technology. For example, there could be the needed some machines that is important for this type of the precise farming. To know the soil health, there is need for a machine. If the farmers don't have the machines, who will provide? The government should provide. So technological barriers should be reduced, and there is need to creating and enabling adoption environment. Means the thing should be simple. If the farmers want to buy something, it should be into the market. Many a times we see that the things that needed to the farmer to do such type of the farming, that is not available. They will not go. If they have to buy something, they do not need to go for a distance place to buy that. If they have to buy some technology, they should not go to the Lucknow from the Kushinagar. They should have the availability in the Kushinagar. So enabling adoption environment. Just take an example of this micro irrigation technology. Micro irrigation technology that is not simply available, and they are very much costly. So government need to provide all these things. So in the last, it has provided, it has given that the promoting carbon farming in India help mitigate the climate change. It has given the what are the benefit. It will mitigate the climate change. Mitigate means it will reduce the impact of the climate change. Second thing is that it improves the soil health. Already we have studied. It enhances the biodiversity. Biodiversity means many a times we see that the some of the species that are not found. For example, into the village there was so many type of the cows, buffaloes. Now they are not found. Most people do not. Now the people have not have left rearing these animals. So biodiversity is decreasing. You have to dependent on the packet milk. Beside that, it can create the economic opportunity to the farmers. People do not like to farming, but if you will provide the incentive, means benefit in the farming, people will try to go for the farming, and it will improve the employment and the livelihood opportunity. So these are the benefits that has been given into the last. You can bring into the your answer. So this is all about from this news. Next important news that we are going to take is the understanding the science behind the magnetic resonance imaging. So it is the MRI. We have, at least we have listened this machine MRI. If we have not gone through this process, so we will know the basics behind that. What is the major basics? So what is the technology that used in the magnetic resonance imaging? Magnetic. So magnetic field is used, simple thing. And for this, the discovery of this, we have those scientists who discovered this, they have received the Nobel Prize in 2003. So it is mainly, this is used for the imaging the internal body structure without the need for the surgery. You don't have to go for the surgery. This machine with the help of magnetic field. So magnetic field is very important. And what type of the image, what type of the part of the body that is imaged? This is the soft tissue into the body. What is the soft tissue? Those part that has not been hardened through the calcification. And what are those part? The brain part, the soft part of the brain, the cardiovascular system, spinal cord, joints, muscles, liver and arteries, not the bones. So for the bones, what we use? We use the CT scan. What are the type of the disease that is mainly to cure, to diagnose? We use this MRI, like the Alzheimer. Alzheimer means you forget the everything. You just don't know anything, your relative or anything, that is the Alzheimer. Dementia, this is also about the forgetting the thing, not the relative. You will remember that this is my aunt, this is my father, this is my mother. In Alzheimer, you forget everything, but in the dementia, you also you remember all this thing, that this person is my aunt, this person is my uncle, this person is my father, but you forget the thing that what happens 3 days back you will not able to recall. So these are the things these are the disease that is being used, and MRI mainly used also used into the change in the blood flow to understand the blood activities. Okay, this many a times when the individual embedded with the metallic object, they are not suggested to go for MRI. Why? Because there is the strong magnetic field that is used, and there could be the induction of the magnetic and electric field into those implants, and that's why those person with the implants, mechanic implant, they cannot be go through, because even if you are going with the MRI with your credit or the debit card, it will wipe clean due to the magnetic field. So all the data that is written on this magnetic strip, that can be wiped. How does the MRI work? Mainly it is working on the hydrogen atom that is present into those body parts, and the hydrogen atom has the single proton and one electron. Electron is spinning across the proton. So this is the structure of the hydrogen. Here hydrogen, proton is at the center, and the electron that is the revolving around the proton. So this is the structure for what we are using the MRI. The central hole of the MRI, this is known as the bore. Here in the picture you can see the central part. We have the picture as well. We have the differences between MRI and the CT scan. Both have the same time of the machine. Look here. The only difference is that in MRI we use the magnetic field and the radio wave. In the CT scan we use the X-ray. Here you will see that it is based for the soft tissue, brain and spinal cord, MRI, and CT scan for the bone, blood vessel and the internal injury. The MRI is a bit slower and CT scan is a faster. What type of the thing that could be avoided? Magnetic field and the claustrophobia. So here you can avoid this thing, but the radiation exposure and the low risk is here into the CT scan. So this is all about from this news analysis. Okay. The cost of MRI is very high, because here the machine that is used that cost between tens of lakhs to the crores. And beside that, you should know that what is the unit for the measurement of the magnetic field. It is the Tesla, and the Tesla and the Gauss. So one Tesla is equal to 10,000 Gauss. So this is the measurement, this is the measuring unit. So this is all about from this news analysis. After magnetic field is activated, the MRI machine, 3 small magnets produce the weaker magnetic field, and it is used to highlight the specific portion of the body to be scanned. So this is all about from this news analysis. The next news that we will cover is with respect to our business news. Here it is being claimed from our finance minister that the GST is poor, and it added people. So here it has given that what is the basis? The basis is that it has the less tax rate. The number of the collection has increased 2 lakh crore rupees, and we have seen that the rateage has decreased. For example, the rate on the hair oil, soap, that has been decreased from 18%, and also on the electrical appliance, it had decreased from the 31 to the 12%. But the thing is that the finance minister has not disclosed that what was the basis of the taking this comparison, because previously it was not the GST, some other taxes were there. Did you calculate it? So there was no such disclosure on the thing. Besides that, she talks about the National Anti-Profiteering Authority. This is the authority that act whenever there is the reduction in the GST tax rate, suddenly it should be passed to the people. So we see that those who are the sailor do not generally pass, they take the higher rate of the GST, even that has been reduced. In that case, the National Anti-Profiteering Authority that can penalize those who are not going to follow. Okay, so GST has exempted many of the essential items and the services from the tax bracket, that is also helping. So this is all about from the this news analysis. We have covered most of the relevant news from the today's newspaper. So here we will conclude our session. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.